Alright, world, so I'm going to show you. Let me actually turn on the light, get more lighting in here. Alright, wash my hands one more time. At the same time, I'm going to rinse these avocados, even though you don't need to. I'd like to just show that everything that's picked from the ground or in the ground or on trees or in bushes always has to go through a process of being in warehouses. So you always want to clean and rinse everything as best as you can. Now these avocados I actually got from my brother because he started taking care of an avocado tree that didn't look so well when he moved into the home that he lived at. So I want to explain to the world. Boom. When you know, however you want to get the avocado out, with a spoon or just by grabbing it like that. Save your peels, but most importantly, save your pit. If all life is on the earth, then your pit is the planet, and you got to save the planet. So this is actually really good in botany, as far as, you know, science, explaining a lot, because when you use the pits to cover the guacamole, it actually works better than the actual avocado peel. Just want everyone to know that. I've been teaching that to people, especially when I was delivering online orders at Walmart. I was teaching people how to walk back with the carts and the totes and the skateboards, all like how it was when they originally got the order, so that way they don't hurt their lower back and their posture and end up having, you know, hurting feet, hurting tight Achilles, lower back pain, you know, mood swings, all of that. So that's all very important. I'm going to put these in another bowl, and I'm saving those. My hands are getting a little bit messy, so I should just actually peel and chop all these first before I actually get into getting the avocado out. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add the smallest amount of water as far as drinking water, and that way it helps the avocado to be just a little bit more runny as far as mixing. But I'm going to add lemon, cilantro, and red onion, and yeah, I'll show you all in a minute what it looks like. Even though I can't put pause, you know, it will just go from one video to the next video, so I don't want to push pause, sadly. It's kind of messed up. Some of these recorders let you do that, maybe Instagram or something, but not this one, and I don't know why, because this is a newer iPhone. Yeah. So one trick that I do just to explain it after I already get all the guacamole is after I stir it and it's all mixed and it tastes good and I sample it with a spoon, I'll put these babies boop, 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 on top of it. And then I'll, you know, try to cram space on wherever. I mean, maybe I should put this bottom, but like I said, it's the middle that actually keeps the guacamole from browning. And that's why I rather worry about the pit more than the actual avocado outside. And for all of you out there, if you have a sweet tooth, you know, sugar is not good because it does give you a lot of cancer in many ways. Glaucoma, arthritis, skin cancer, you know, you name it. You know, your gallbladder gets switched out from grease and from sugar and all of that deposits that go in all of those areas that, you know, I call cavities. I mean, wherever anything can get stored ends up being like a cabinet. So therefore, in, you know, anatomy and all of that science talk, all the studies of science, whether it's your body or just space, time, you know, quantum physics, everything kind of makes sense to always talk about it, you know. On computers, you got archives. Well, in the old days with Sumerians, you have archives. Whenever you're looking at, you know, God's great teachings, the Guardian Journal book, you'll notice that people rewrote it with their kings and pharaohs to manipulate, like if they were really God, when really they can't replace the true God. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about good food and what God provided. I do have a masher mixer, but I'll just slightly go with it. So now I'm going to chop up the onion. When you look at any of the science that we have today and you compare it to witchcraft, it's so patternized that it's identical. But when you look at cooking and food, you never looked at it like that. And truthfully, cooking is witchcraft, but it is a wholesome, loving, holy, organic type of witchcraft. You ever notice, to get to the man, you got to get to his stomach, as far as ladies say? You ever notice that when a kid is feeling down and out, that the mother will make him something really good and charm him up? That is good organic witchcraft. And I always have to explain that constantly, because my research and my studies, as far as spiritual enlightenment from the, true God, really got me on point with all of this. But what I want to explain to the world is don't be manipulated and don't eat preservatives. Preservatives, I've been using a lot of this cilantro. It was fresh at the store. It was so delicious. And when it comes to preservatives, that's just making you more into a 3D prison. Why? Because all of your body that's really organic is turning more into a mannequin. You're preserving your life. People are getting implants. People are getting facelifts. I mean, we are going more into a virtual world than ever before, especially with people that are gamers, people that are so unhappy they're constantly watching TV, YouTube videos, laughing at people getting hurt, laughing at how many people are getting busted, shocked. But are they really scared or caring about other countries? Not unless it affects their countries. And that really kind of bothers me, As far as being someone that realizes all of this is always witchcraft, you most definitely can see that I'm actually a good witch, because witches in the old days were killed for heresy. And really, what was the point of that when a lot of people were actually good medicine people, people that wanted to heal the sick? You look at Jesus, every story that had to do with the Bible really comes from Jesus' story. So that's one thing I point out. And I'm not ever trying to make world war. I'm trying to explain world peace, because all of that really, really matters. Okay, so now we have this a little bit, and I'll probably just throw that out to the, I use the back of my forearm, when I scratch my head right now. Because it's really good for nutrients, to eat off nutrients, Like I said, the pit is Mother Earth, and say you are the inside of the avocado. Well, you get buried and you get sheltered by your mother again, as far as circle of life. A lot of people are not really sure what circle of life means. But when you realize that circle of life is a universal statement, circle of life of living, Genesis, starting in a diaper, ending in a diaper. The way you live is the way you die. So live good, live healthy, always live rich and care about everyone. But also the circle of life is that big ball that you live on that gives you gravity. This food that is so healthy and delicious, we really wouldn't have it if this earth was dead. If you notice that astronauts, when they're in space, they're only in closest type of environment to grow vegetables or fruits was from that way that they grow marijuana. I forgot, hydroponics. You know, you need a water system, and you need the nutrients, and you need all the rocks and the air, and you need all that. So really, that's the only way that astronauts were able to actually have any benefit of trying their studies to grow fruits and vegetables in outer space, or inner outer space, as far as we've gone. This type of info is just always universal, and it's at your feet as long as you know what to believe in and know that you should not be tricked and you care about everyone. One thing about food, one thing about martial arts that I learned is the more that you care about people, the smarter you are. No matter what. You could be the dumbest person in the world but have the biggest heart, and later on you'll be the most intelligent because you had the most faith, you had the most support. You were able to actually branch out and learn from either your mistakes or other people's mistakes. And having that much heart to care about everybody and everything just benefits you in the long run to be a leader, not a follower. Not somebody stuck in a 3D world. Not somebody that's pretending to be your leader and really wants to rule the world. So, let me get this potato or bean masher, however you want to call it. And I'm going to flip some of the avocado on top of the cilantro. That way I don't just get it in the masher. Lemon and a little bit of pepper. Actually, a little bit of a lot. Actually, pepper brings out the salt, just like salt brings out the flavor and everything. Now we're gonna put not a pinch, but a punch. A punch. It's a little bit heavy, and it's sad because everything we eat today is made from preservatives of sugar, fake sugar, and salt. Everything that has been bleached over and over, it is preservative because a lot of the real aminos and nutrients that were in it have been bleached out, have been taken out. So therefore, everyone is defeating themselves by thinking, who cares, I'm gonna die anyways. But just like how fruit or vegetables could be rotten and you give it back to the earth, it will grow new fruit. And is that new fruit technically new fruit? I don't know. It's up to you. Mind, body, and spirit. Did the fruit have a mind? Not too much, because it was a nutrient. And even though it had life and grew, it was the tree that had the brilliance to always sustain the life of that fruit. You know, the fruit of a tree is nutrients and it provides life. So, you know, that's a gift of God, and everything that God is created. So that is God. But at the same time, it's more like the healthy nutrients of like somebody cutting their nails off when you're picking fruit. You know what I mean? When you're cutting your hair, when you're cutting your nails, even though that doesn't look like nutritious stuff, it is for the earth. And so the earth does you the same favor of circle of life, scratch my back, scratch your back. And yeah, that explains nature as far as the same example on Lion King. We eat the antelope, and the antelope go back to the grass. And then later on, that new antelope eats the grass. You know, it's a circle of life. Who's to say that you don't come back? Let me taste it first before I add more salt, because sadly guacamole is that type of... Oh, wow, that's powerful. I have been known to make really good food, and people that try my food really love it. And that to me tells me that there's witchcraft of organic, good wholesomeness. That somebody's gonna fall in love with my food every time they eat it. And that is a blessing from God.